So Logic made a movie. Not that kind of movie. Yet. What's going on, guys? It's Bryce here. We're back with another video. I'm talking about Logic's new movie, Paradise Records. Listen, I went to the movie. I seen the movie. I was in the movie. I was with the man at the movie. Hey, I'm giving you guys my complete, full, unbiased, spoiler-free review of Logic's new upcoming film, Paradise Records. So before I really get into this review, what's been going on with me? I know I haven't uploaded. I was in New York with Logic watching the movie. The movie we're going to talk about here. I went to after parties and shit after the movie. Shit was dope. I seen Playboi Carti in concert. That was dope. I went to Atlanta. I just threw a show of Young Thug's new artist, 1300 Saint. Real YSL shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going back to New York in a few weeks. So if you want to meet me, come see me at the show. I will be there. Come support. But yeah, I've been all over the place. Streams, whatever, they've been all over. But I know y'all aren't here for me. Y'all are here for the movie Paradise Records. So my actual experience before I really get into it going to Paradise Records, it was awesome. Logic is just be on the block. At this point, all the showings have passed, and you can also see on my body, I got that fucking merchandise, that free merchandise. Logic was handing it out, doing his Oprah Winfrey, you know what I'm saying? Nice little back here. You can see like all the dates on it, all that nice stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I was giving that out and like some hats. I didn't grab a hat because fuck me, I guess. But Logic's still been active. Alright, dropping singles like every week to who knows what projects. Alright, his collaboration album with Juicy J, Live and in Color, is finally out. I'm gonna talk about it more in a future video, but I absolutely love that album. But yeah, Logic's been active. Actually being able to sit there and see him again and watch the movie in the presence of the crew that worked on the movie. I was there for the actual premiere, which pretty much just like friends and family. A few fans there, but that was really it.
Who doesn't like this in Tribeca? Nobody! You know what I'm talking about? It's De Niro. You know what I mean?
Bro, shut down the whole fucking block, bro. What the fuck? There's plenty of movies here. I don't see any blocks shut down like this.
And then I went to another showing the day after of just kind of a general admission showing. So I got to see the movie twice, 2 days in a row. I have lots of thoughts and all that to kind of go through. And I guess the most notable thing about my experience there was, for the second movie showing, I had to pee. All right, I'm in the city all day. I'm in New York all day. They don't just let people use bathrooms in New York. You gotta like buy something, and like a water's like $5. So I'm not doing that. Anyways, we get to the movies, and I have to pee. And guess who also has to pee? Yep, him. Yep, Logic. He has to pee too. So I walk into the bathroom, and it's like just him and his bodyguard in the bathroom. Logic's just pissing. He's just pissing in a urinal, and we just make eye contact, and I just laugh and leave, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I laugh in his face while he's peeing, and then I leave the restroom. He tells me afterwards that I could have just stayed in there and peed, but you know what? That privacy is yours. I did not want to be in there. I'm good. But yeah, the actual movie itself, and I'll be playing like some clips from the trailer and some of the Bad Motherfucker music video, whatnot, as I talk, along with some Splitgate 2 gameplay, as I'm sure you're seeing. But Paradise Records, what can you expect? Now, all the people that have pretty much heard about this from me, whatnot, are like, oh, what kind of, like, is this a documentary? Like, is this about, like, Logic's, music career? Like, this is about, like, a biography by chance? Anything like that. This is people think it's a non-fiction body of work. All right, it is not. All right, this is a fiction body of work, and it is literally a movie. Logic acted, wrote, directed, etc. the movie. Bobby Hall. All him. Of course, help with Kevin Smith with directing and a lot of other star-studded cast as well. I'm talking like Tony Revelori in here, Nolan North, Oliver Tree. So I really like seeing, some known names in here. Ron Pearlman is also in here. You got Hellboy in this movie. That is awesome. And of course, Logic having like a lot of friends and affiliates, playing a lot of maybe the less known characters and whatnot that are kind of, here and there. Myself having about 0.02 seconds of screen time, so if you blink, you miss it. If you blink, you miss it, you might have to watch the movie again. I'm sorry. But I think a lot of them added to the overall experience. Now, this is, like I'm saying, it's a full fiction movie. It's a story. It's a comedy. It's a dark comedy. All right, this man, if you don't like slurs, you might not want to watch this movie. All right, this movie has quite the fruitful array of slurs. All right, and they are used fruitfully. All right, and you're just going to have to be okay with that, it seems, if you're going to want to enjoy this movie. Now, I'm not a film critic by any means, but I will say this movie doesn't take itself too extremely seriously. If you come into this movie, like, expecting something serious, like, especially if you're expecting, like, some Logic non-fiction biopic, yeah, you're just going to be disappointed. All right, you're just going to be disappointed. You have to go into the movie with a state of mind like you're watching something that's, like, cartoonishly silly. You know how, like, in cartoons, like, the rules of, like, matter and physics and life like don't apply. Yeah, this is kind of like how that movie is. Some of the characters have some like one-liners that's like contradictory, you know, like a running bit. And this is spoiler free, so I'm not gonna spoil anything. But Nolan North and Oliver Treat, they play bank robbers in the movie, burglars, if you will. And there's like a running bit where like there's like some stuff going on in like the Paradise Record shot where like, oh, there's not like a back exit. They're like, oh, that's completely unsafe. How dare you? While they're like waving a gun in front of people, or there's like a nail in front of the door that like could snag people's clothing. And Nolan North or Oliver Tree like, that is very dangerous. Someone might get hurt. So it's like stuff like that. Like obviously the joke is that they're literally holding a firearm in front of someone's face, but they're making a bit about, you know, the store like being dangerous because there's a nail. Little stuff like that might seem silly, but to me it's like, it's literally like cartoonishly like funny. Like the way humans operate in the Paradise Records universe is not the way humans would operate in your traditional comedy film, if that makes sense. It's very like super bad. There's lots of bits. There's lots of like jokes for the sake of jokes. You know what I'm saying? It's very, I hate saying it, but it's almost like Family Guy inspired. There's no like cutaway gags or anything, but just like the way, you know, if you watch Family Guy, like everything's a bit. Like every conversation is a joke or a bit. It's like hard to even move the plot forward. And this movie had a little bit of that where there are bits in there just for the sake of them being a bit. But I don't think it really took away from the plot because honestly, the plot to me was just like laugh. You know, the plot is actually very simple. I'm not going to get into spoilers like I said, but the plot is, there's not a lot going on in the movie as far as like what's actually happening. There's one main setting and the whole movie takes place in there, and it's not like a multi-day, you know what I'm saying, taking over the span of like a whole time period over the movie. The movie is what you see in real time. You know, the movie moves in real time. Whatever happens in the movie takes probably about like a day, but when you get to like the back half of the movie, it's like you're watching like an hour straight of what's actually happening in an hour time in the movie, if that makes sense. A lot of people also have been asking me, do I need to be a fan of Logic? Do I need to listen to Logic music? Do I need to know anything about Logic, his career, him as a person, anything before you get into this movie? And the overwhelming answer to that is no. I think this is a very enjoyable movie for anyone who's looking to just laugh. If you are a fan of Logic, of course you're going to catch countless Easter eggs in the movie with the natural setting of the Paradise Record store, having all these vinyl around, all these posters around, you know, all these old Logic albums and such, all these upcoming beat tapes and such from Logic Peanuts, all that. You know, we got T-Man the Wizard stuff on the way, you got Ballad of Rooster, Jenkins stuff on the way, you got lots of stuff going on the wall. So that's like where like the Logic connection can take place, and there's something there enjoyable for fans to almost pick away at it, like almost every shot in the movie, which as someone who's a huge fan, I can appreciate. Of course I can. But it does not take away or thwart the experience of someone who knows nothing about that. You could come into this knowing nothing about Logic and never even heard of the name Logic, not know who Logic is, and you wouldn't have no idea. You know what I'm saying? It's a separate entity. Yes, there's Logic movies spliced throughout. Yes, there's going to be a soundtrack. We only heard like a few songs in the movie on the soundtrack, so if that's what you're interested in, I imagine the soundtrack will be full length and longer than what we heard there, of course. But that is on the way if you're more just on the music side of things. But I actually really enjoy this movie. Now, I can't sit here and pretend like this is a Quentin Tarantino, a 10 out of 10. This is a cinema Scorsese masterpiece, because it's not. All right, it's not. It's a movie that's kind of taking the piss. All right, it's his first shot at anything. But I must say, regardless of that, it impressed me quite greatly, just because, you know, anyone's first shot at anything is going to be a little shaky. And I don't even necessarily think this movie was a little shaky. I think it was more so Logic just doing what he wanted and, like, not abiding, you know, by traditions and whatnot. And maybe that's why the viewing of this may seem like a little untraditional. You know, it really was paid for him, by him, made for him. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm not a film critic. But as far as enjoyability, I mean, I'm not going to give it a number. But I enjoy it, quite frankly. I already can't wait to watch it again. I'm excited to watch it like with my parents. I'm excited to watch it with my girlfriend. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a lot of fun. I definitely think this is something that I could see getting picked up by a streaming platform. You know, a lot of people have been asking me, you know, how's this movie going to release? I don't know. The Tribeca 4 viewing screenings were pretty much the test run for this, you know, see the ticket sales look like, see what, just the energy. I don't really know how it's being gauged. You know, they did have us, like, scan a QR code at the end and, like, rate the movie and stuff like that, so I don't know how this is being judged or gauged with the premieres at Tribeca in New York. But I do think that regardless, it's going to get picked up. It's Logic, bro. It's going to get picked up by some streaming platform. This won't be a movie that you can't find. I'm sure Logic will do some physical DVD release. It's just the way he's going to be. I think he should do a VHS. I think Logic should do a VHS. Someone had given me that idea to tell him. I told him I was going to tell Logic, and I forgot to tell him. So if you're watching this right now, you should do that. VHS. VHS physicals. VHS, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. I think the acting in this movie from the actors and actresses that are priorly named, known like Tony Revelori, Nolan North, and such. I think they did a wonderful, fantastic job. I really, really, really love Nolan North and Oliver Tree's character. I love the chemistry they have together. I love their back and forth. I think that they are like the shining light of this movie. The energy, the life of this movie comes out through them, I feel like. Not saying the rest of the movie is lifeless, because that's not the case at all. I think Logic and T-Man have a great chemistry in dichotomy as well, going back and forth. They're like a walking bit, all right? They're both just walking like memes. It's hilarious. T-Man especially, as someone who has seen T-Man around for like a few years, I don't know the guy extremely well or anything of the sort, but I see the way he acts. Tremaine in this movie is Tremaine in real life, bro. It's the same person. There is no sheet. There is no curtain. That is literally the person you're getting in the movie, which I can appreciate because it translated perfectly. Like when I see T-Man at these shows or whatever, I always think like this man is like, there needs to be like a camera, like just following this guy. There needs to be someone there who's just fucking following this guy with the camera, bro. If this man T-Man did IRL streaming, he would be the most famous IRL streamer on the planet. I put that on my future mortgage that I don't have yet. All in all, Paradise Records, enjoyable movie. Quite enjoyable movie. Quite enjoyable flick. Quite enjoyable film. TLDR, don't take it too seriously, bro. Go into it with an open mind that you're just supposed to watch some bullshit and laugh. If you smoke weed, probably smoke some weed. There's lots of weed themes in here. This is very much like a old like stoner kind of movie, like a old Wiz Khalifa type flick, something like that. Old like Snoop Dogg, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. That is like the vibes I'm getting from here, which a lot of critics would hear that and be like, oh god, stay the fuck away. But this is a more polished version of that, in my opinion. Not as gimmicky. I keep saying it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it does take itself serious in the sense that it's actually a beautifully shot and a beautifully presented movie. And I'm quite proud of the man Logic for pulling off such a stunt. Like I said, don't know what streaming service will pick it up. I don't know. Physical releases, I don't know. They don't tell me anything. Touring the United States / the world for the movie, I don't know. They tell me nothing. So I'm in the dark as much as you guys. But regardless, I think you guys are going to enjoy this movie, whether you're a Logic fan or not. And if you just want to laugh and you're watching this video for whatever reason that's not Logic related, I think you should watch it too, man. Hey, you probably enjoy that shit. It's a good laugh. It's a good laugh. But I'm going to keep you guys updated. All things Logic, Alive and in Color, Juicy J is out now. Singles coming out every week, etc. All the things. But if you guys enjoyed watching, make sure you like, subscribe to the bell, so you don't miss any videos, updates, anything like that. Go in the description. Follow my TikTok, my Spotify, my Twitter, my Instagram. Get that monthly updated Fits Picks playlist. And yeah. It's from Bryce. Peace.